So I want to share something with you guys that I did to get over my fear of people many years ago, and it really did change my life. I didn't expect the success and the positive things that happened to me to come off the back of doing this. I just kind of did it out of desperation for being in a bad place and really wanting to change my life. And I just hated having this social anxiety. It was just ruining my life. I wanted to do something about it. So what I did was, to begin with, the first thing that I did was I pushed myself to go to the gym, right? Because I used to go gym with a friend of mine, but I was obviously comfortable with him because we were friends for many years. But I wanted to do it on my own because I had a fear of that. So I went to, the normal recreational weightlifting gyms, fitness gyms. I did that on my own. Got confident doing that. I got more comfortable doing that. But I felt like I needed to do more. And the one where I was really scared of going was the boxing gym. So I did that. That took a lot of courage, and it took some time to get comfortable in that environment, which I did. So I first targeted those areas, the fitness and training. I wanted to get more comfortable around, tough guys, masculine guys, fighters, guys that are in shape. Because I had some fear about that. So I did that. Then at that point, I got to a certain level, but I still knew I wasn't confident enough. And the next area for me was women. That was where I was really insecure. So I never liked online dating. Tried it when I was really younger when it first came out. Didn't like it. Straight away, don't like the dishonesty, the game playing. You can't really show your personality. It's quite difficult. Well, back then there was no video calls when I tried it. So for me, going out and speaking to women in public made complete sense. And a friend of mine, he did that already. He spoke to women everywhere. He was really, really good with women, really confident. Great guy. So I started doing that. That was scary, and it's so outside the comfort zone. And so I did that, got more confident. But then I realized I'm at a certain level now, and I'm happy in progress, but I'm still not there yet. Then I ventured into the world of business and going to events, public speaking, all. So I started going to a couple of other people's events and just getting over the fear of going to an event, with like 10, 15 people. I went to improv. I went to a couple of personal development seminars way back in the day, just before I started my business. A bit before that, I was still gathering the confidence and the understanding and learning, and so that really helped. That really took me to another level. So after doing that, what I just told you I'd done, I didn't feel 100% ready, but I felt ready enough that I wanted to start teaching and doing my own events instead of going to other people's and things like that. I wanted to start now I've gathered all this knowledge and I've built this momentum and this confidence, because by then I eventually started going on dates with women. That was just incredible. I never thought I could do that. And I never thought I could be that brave to go out to events, gyms, all this fear busting stuff that I was doing. I never honestly thought I could do it when I was in a bad place at 25, even earlier than that. So now it was like, okay, I don't have a job. I want to, I was so passionate about teaching this to guys, this confidence, getting over this fear, this anxiety, and this is my area. So that's when I started setting up free events in London and doing talks. That was really scary for me. That was one of the hardest, but I got good at that with a bit of time and practice after doing several of them. So I started doing the events. A lot of people started to come, most of which were good people, very supportive, and they're really pleased with the information I was giving them and the kind of inspiration, motivation, and people like my story as well, where I started. So after doing that, it was weird. It was like I was just trying to put all the pieces together and make things right with my self-esteem, and if that makes sense, conquering my demons. So now it was like, okay, I've done all these things. Now I want to go to one-on-one business meetings, because basically what happened was when I did my seminars, people were interested in coaching, working with me. So they were asking me like, how much do you charge, or how does it work, or can I speak to you one-on-one and see if you can help me? So I started going out. What I did was I used to do this thing. This is a good tip for anyone starting a business, where I would meet people for free for about 1 hour. And during that hour, I'd have a consultation, business, like a meeting, to see if I could help the person. And obviously, if I thought I could help them and I liked them and they liked me, then I would upsell them my paid 6 weeks program. So I went to a lot of meetings, and that really made me face my social fear one-on-one. Fantastic. And I got to meet so many good people, and I've got a lot of clients out of it. I made a lot of money out of it, and I helped a lot of people. So that's what I said to you guys. I didn't know it was going to lead to all these things. I didn't know my finances improved. And I didn't know, more importantly, I didn't know how many people that I was going to help change their life. I really didn't know that was going to happen. I had no idea. I had an inkling, but I didn't know for sure. So, hold on. So if you can hear my story, it's just nothing but exposure therapy. All I was doing was going out, facing these social fears, challenging myself, doing things that I'd never done before. So once I started building up a client base and a following and getting the events running, the next thing for me actually was a fear that I had. The next fear I had to face was when other companies and people they want to invite me onto their podcast shows and their interview shows. Some was in person, some was online over a Zoom call. I was nervous about that, really nervous. It would make me really anxious. So I did many of those and got competent, got confident at doing that. And obviously I've made like thousands of YouTube videos. So for me, that was how I conquered the social anxiety and changed my life. It was a process, and it was scary at every step, but it was equally exciting. And I could do it. And then I realized anyone could do it. So that's why I've been so passionate on this channel of recent, maybe the last couple of years, to make a bigger impact on men and not just help them to get over their anxiety with speaking to women, but in other areas, like I said. Because as I said, social anxiety, the great thing about it is you can kind of do what I did if you want. You can conquer it in different ways. You can make it exciting. Because I think some people, they make it boring for themselves. They're trying to get over social anxiety, and maybe they just do like one avenue, one platform of kind of speaking to people. Does that make sense? So they might just go to events, which is great, but they don't do other things. I did other things. I went out in public, I approached women. And I met amazing women, and I got confidence. I went to events, I made friends. I went to different personal development seminars. I ran my own seminars. I went to improvisation. I did public speaking. I trained other people. I used to run groups and help people come up and give public talks. And I did all that kind of stuff, weekend program. So for me, it made me grow probably more than the average person would grow who has social anxiety and who's overcoming it. So obviously everyone's journey is different. It might not be the way that you're going to go in your life to do all the things I did, but maybe it is. Maybe you can take note of some of the areas that I did that resonate with you, that you want to do, and I can't recommend it enough. See, I'll tell you why I love the approach I took, whether it was conscious or just accident, because I learned a lot of different skills. So with going out and speaking to women and going on dates, I learned dating and relationship skills, which is something that I didn't have. I learned that skill, how to go on a date, how to text, and then how to get into a relationship, how to keep that going. I learned that. And then obviously I learned public speaking skills because I did public talks, I ran events in person, so that's another skill. And then I learned how to negotiate and sell and get the right clients and help people one-on-one. So I learned one-on-one skills. I learned how to communicate in a group. So I learned how to coach one-on-one. I learned how to coach groups. I learned how to speak in front of big audiences. And obviously I learned boxing skills, and then I learned about weight training. So I'm so passionate about this, is that I want to share it and teach it to more of you. Some of you don't know all my stories. Some of you are new. Some of you might know a bit of it. Some of you might need reminding. So you could do this. You could make big changes and learn the skills at the same time. For me, that was one of the great incentives to face social anxiety, because you need an incentive, right? It's difficult. You've got to realize what you're going to gain. You're going to gain a lot. And it's not all about what you gain, because it wasn't all about what I gained. The bigger picture, when I look at the facts, and the truth was what I was able to give to people, without sounding a bit cringe or cheesy. But what I was able to give was far more greater than what I received. So I was able to make such a difference. And I could never have done that. I could never have met all these people. Bearing in mind, this was amazing. Another fear, obviously, I faced was teaching, and I've worked with people from all around the world. People, see, it still happens now. People travel from all different parts, all different areas of the world to come and do my one-on-one coaching or the weekend program or the Fearless event. It's amazing. Some of you have met me. You've done programs. I've met people from all around the world. But I never would have met all these people if I didn't face my fears. No one would have known who I was. I wouldn't have had that skill. So that was something that was brilliant that came out of exposure therapy, facing the social anxiety. And, you know, for the most part, I met many good people. Of course, along the way, you meet some negative people that you don't really gel with. But that was only really a fraction. Most people I met were brilliant people. Like, I had some great times. So, you know, that's why my teaching comes from it. It comes from, it's real. It comes from real experience. It doesn't come from books and things like that. Anyway, so big tangent there. So I'd like to invite you to my Fearless event, which is free on the 19th of June. So you could learn some of these skills and many more. If you want to come, send me an email. There's an email address below. Just to let you know as well, I've got the paid Fearless event is free. Right, that's an event for guys that want to meet like-minded guys that get over their social fears. The weekend program's the paid event, and that's for helping guys to get over fear and anxiety with speaking to women. I've had a booking for that. I've got a couple of spaces left, so if you're interested, that's on the 25th to 26th, about a month away. Send me an email on either one. All right, I'll speak to you guys soon. Thank you.